Hi, welcome to today's session, and I've actually set it up so I've got a chair in front of me, and this is quite nice because it's an armchair that's slightly wider than my shoulders. A standard chair would be okay, but it probably won't give you a nice chunky hold. So if you've got something like this, that would be perfect, or the sides of a stool maybe. And we're going to do a little variation of some of the work we do on our front. Which is opening up through the front of the chest, trying to create better shoulder stability, and also think about some extension between the shoulder blades. So it's much easier to extend from the back lower down at the bottom of our rib cage, where we're much more flexible, much harder to get the extension through the upper back. And that requires control of your rib cage. So we're going to try and actually maintain a bit of stiffness in our rib cage so that we can try and extend between the shoulder blades to open our chest up. Okay, so if we breathe out, place your hands on your rib cage here, take a breath in, and then if you breathe out hard, hopefully you feel your ribs draw inwards and down. That's going to be the anchor that you're going to find to be able to then open up through the front of the body. So a nice little analogy for this is that you've got a diamond from your forehead to your breastbone to the corners of your shoulders, and you're trying to open those 4 points away from one another rather than lift from here. Okay, and that will help you to get the extension through that upper back. If you're very lordotic, so you've got an arch in your back, I would pop a cushion under your tummy. Today I'm not going to use that, but if you want to, you can just place it here as you come down onto your front, and that will support your lower back a little bit. I would definitely recommend it if you're quite arched in your low back. And again, if you want a cushion for under your forehead, you can do. Because we're propped up a bit, I'm going to go without. We're going to have our feet just hip width apart here, and we're going to take hold of our chair and then let the head rest here. So my forehead comes down and I've given myself a gentle double chin. And now before we even start, just find a position. So it might be lower for you if you haven't got the range in your shoulders, okay? And if you need to, ideally you want nice long elbows, but if you need to soften them slightly if you haven't got the range, then do, or have them lower or nearer the floor. Okay, so the higher up, the more range you need at your shoulders. So here, you're going to then drop your tailbone away from the crown of the head, connecting your pubic bone into the mat. And like I said, just get your forehead to rest on the floor so that you've given yourself a double chin and created length through the back of the neck. And then just take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you might want to just breathe out hard. And as you breathe out hard, can you draw the ribs away from the mat down towards your waist to help you just anchor through that rib cage. And now I want you, without moving the chair, but to just imagine pulling the chair towards you, and that will draw your shoulder blades down your back. And then I want you to imagine that you're trying to pull them back towards you, but then push these legs of the chair down into the floor, and that's going to give you a really nice shoulder blade connection down your back and onto your back, like you're gluing your shoulder blades there, giving yourself a nice long neck. So here I'm keeping my pubic bone plugged in, and now all I'm doing is lifting my breastbone, head and neck in line, so I'm not tipping my head up. My third eye on my forehead is looking straight at the mat, and I'm just coming into a lift, but I'm still pulling down through my arms and almost drawing my shoulder blades down my back, pulling those chair legs towards me, and then lower back down. And really, rather than the fingertips, try and plug in really through the whole of the hand, especially the outside border of that little finger, because that will really connect into your shoulder blades. So if you struggle with that, really just try and keep that outside edge of the little finger in contact, pushing down into the floor and pulling back towards you. And then we lower the upper body, plug in through the pubic bone and lift and lower And just keep breathing throughout the movement. I'm not bothered whether it's in or out. Keep your pubic bone connected. That will protect your lower back. Keep pulling down through the floor, drawing those legs of the chair towards you without actually moving it. 2 more here. Pull. And down. Last one. Little pull. And down. This time come up and hold, and you don't have to come up all the way. So remember, this is just a small movement trying to get extension between the shoulder blades. If you come too high, you're just bending probably in your lower back. So here, we're now going to plug in through one hand, okay? So my little finger outside edge is drawing down that arm leg, and I'm going to breaststroke with the other one, bringing that palm in towards my hip, and then back to center. I'm going to go for 4 here. 2, 3, lovely, and 4, nice long neck, and back to center. We're going to lower down, plug in, push those chair legs down through the floor, hover, check you haven't tipped your head up, keep that third eye on your forehead looking straight at the floor, whoop, and then bring your hand in towards your hip and back. 2, 3, my oofs are in the way, and 4. Hold there, bring the hand back, push those legs down through the floor, and then lower back down. Well done. Just soften those elbows and place both hands one on top of each other under your forehead. And now plug in through your pubic bone, and we're going to just fold one leg up towards you, alternating legs there. And I'm not lifting the thigh at all, just a heel to your sit bone, and switch. Lower back is staying nice and long. I'm not arching through my lower back. I'm controlling the length through my lower back by plugging in through my pubic bone. Cool, last one here. Now we're going to add in our point. So point the toe to the ceiling, relax slightly, heel comes back towards your sit bone, relax and point, and then lower. Switch. So we point, we flex, we point, we lower. Point, flex, point, lower. Point, flex, point, lower. 2 more. Last one. Lower. Cool. Then from here we're going to add in a last little exercise. So we point, flex, point, reach the leg out as though you're going to the floor, and just before you do, really connect the pubic bone and just extend the whole leg. I'm hovering my whole leg, reaching it towards the wall away from me, and my bottom muscles are extending my hips. So I'm trying to work my bottom muscles, and lower. So here we point, we flex, we point. Start to lower the leg, and just before you reach the floor, hover the whole leg, feeling your sit bone closer towards your other sit bone, and those muscles of your bottom muscles extending the leg long towards the wall away, and down. Point, flex, point, reach, and lower. 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 Last 2. Last one. And lower. Then to finish, we're going to combine those 2 movements. If you've got the stability, if you were finding it hard to control your lower back, this is a progression, because we're now bringing your upper body into extension with your lower body. So if you feel you can't control and plug in through that pubic bone, stay at the level we were just doing. So again, I'm going to bring my hands a little bit lower down my chair, again, because this is working a little bit more extension. So if I lower my hands, I'm not going to put any pressure into my lower back. So pull down through the floor and draw the arm legs, legs of the chair back towards me to connect my shoulder blades down my back. A little hover of the breastbone, nice long neck. Plug in through my pubic bone and then point, flex, point, lower. We won't do the reach yet, we'll just start there. 2 more. So again, you might want to stay at that position, keeping those shoulder blades gliding down your back and plugging down into the floor. Cool. Last set, then we can add in the reach if you feel comfortable and you can control your lower back. And lower. I'm still connected through my shoulder blades, hovered through my breastbone. And lower. Cool. Lower the body back to the mat. Hands come under your shoulders, push yourself up, bring the knees in and just drop into a nice round cat stretch. Breathe into the back of the rib cage. And then in that cat stretch, stay tucked under and sit back on your heels. Walk one hand out to the right, or the right hand out to the right, left palm on top. Swing the hips out to the left, let the head hang heavy and drop into a nice shell stretch there. Walk back to center, left hand comes out, right palm on top, swing the hips out to the right. Breathe into the right seam of the body. And then walk back to center, soft elbows. Breath in, exhale, tuck your tailbone underneath you, curl through the spine, peel the chin away from the chest, reach those arms up. Breath in, exhale, arms down by the side of you, roll your shoulders back to finish.